because I don't know if it's just me that thinks he's absolutely delusional and he's lost the plot. Like, I think he's literally lost the plot.
A very bad loser, which isn't the worst thing when you're at that top level. Like, do you know what I mean? But a man in denial can't accept that he's been beaten by a better man on the night.
This is it. And I honestly couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, I think he's had so much smoke blown up his behind that he's got so many people around him that have convinced him that he was cheated.
Hey Wilder, you're a bum. Is he a bum? Has he lost his mind?
Turned out, I think he has, yes.
Do you think he's gone? Do you think he's going to be involved in big fights again? Do you think he wants the big fights? Do you talk about what do you think is going on with Deontay, the bronze bomber?
Well, he's not right, is he? Is the top and bottom of it. There's something. It doesn't
seem that way from the glimpses we've had through the online world.
No, I mean,
in his actions that have been shown to the public.
Let's just start from the beginning, right? We'll have to make this into a bit of a story.
Oh no!
Right? Because, right, so
get the kettle on. It's story time.
He gets beat off Fury, right? He literally got annihilated. There's no other way to put it. And a few days later, we hear his suit's too heavy. That was the reason his legs were gone. Don't laugh, this is serious stuff.
Yeah, right? No, this is.
His suit's too heavy.
This is a suit that he's already tried on to make sure it fits and everything. And
supposedly. Now, why, in the biggest fight in your career, you'd even wear that suit if it was too heavy? I don't know. Anyways, it's an excuse. Do you know what I mean? It's just an excuse. There's no way that suit has anything to do with what happened in the ring. Even if it was too heavy, he still got annihilated. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't affecting anything that happened in the ring on that night. So anyway, he got beat. It's his first loss. And he doesn't know how he's going to take it, does he? And he kind of went into hiding a bit, didn't he? He didn't do any interviews. We didn't hear from him. He didn't post on social media. Nothing. And obviously Fury was he didn't even do an interview after the fight, did he? He didn't come out or anything.
Not that I remember.
He went straight to hospital with his ear, didn't he? Because his ear was bleeding, which is fair enough. Do you know what I mean? It could have had serious damage. And then however many weeks or days or whatever's passed, and we start hearing that he's upset with Breland for throwing the towel in. What's your thoughts? Do you think there's out about that? Like, do you think he's right to be upset?
As far as the towel thing goes, I can understand it being upset, absolutely. But that's not to say it wasn't the right decision, because it was the right decision.
In my opinion, it was the right decision.
But I can understand.
And being upset, he wants to get out properly.
Do you know what I mean? Like I say, he wants to go out in the shield, and I don't think, look, he was hurt, obviously, but at the end of the day, he was taking everything still. Like, do you know what I mean? He was standing there, he was actually throwing back in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, he actually threw a couple of punches back, but
it was.
Do you know
what it was though, Redpath? For me, it was the mannerism, like the way he was going down and stuff. Like, he was literally falling round the ring. Like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't like he got knocked down and then he got back up. He literally couldn't stand up. He was like falling round the ring. The ropes held him up a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And the ear's bleeding. As soon as you see the ear bleeding, you're thinking like that's what's causing him to be like he's not there. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think
it was the right decision, because at the end of the day, he took 6-7 rounds of punishment, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He'd been knocked down. He took a few heavy punches, and the reason I think it was the right decision is because he was taking punishment in the corner. You could tell. And this is obviously why they threw it in. He didn't really have a chance of winning on that night. Like,
it wasn't his night.
Nah, he's just going to take more. He gave everything he'd had to give. It wasn't much. Like, Fury laughed at anyway. Like, it wasn't harming Fury. He didn't look dangerous at all from like round 2 onwards. He took about another 5 rounds of punishment, being dropped like 3 times, like in the corner, getting huge punches landed on him. But I can understand, but looking back, I think he's got to understand that it's the right decision.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm sure if he was a coach and it was his fight in the same position, he would say, yeah, enough's enough for tonight.
Yep, that's entirely right. I agree with you. So from there, we end up finding out that he sacks Breland, doesn't he? In the end of it.
Well, listen, like the whole thing, right? Really, the whole thing points to me is a couple of things. A very bad loser, which isn't the worst thing when you're at that top level. Like, do you know what I mean? But a man in denial can't accept that he's been beaten by a better man on the night.
This is it. This is exactly it. You've cut me.
So he's going from this, he's going from that, he's going to somebody's spiders, I believe, or somebody put something to make us relaxed in me water. His own coach that's been with him for 12 years or something. Like, it's all a hoax.
He was going on about Fury's gloves.
His gloves, the whole thing. Like,
but this is the thing. Cheated. The board have to sign the gloves off. Do you know what I mean? They have to inspect the gloves and sign them off, as far as I'm aware. Like, sign them off. Jay Diaz was watching Fury's hands get wrapped. So if that was the case, he would have said something. He started then blaming... in the first fight, he was going back to the first fight about the whole glove tampering thing and all that, saying that Ricky Hatton was involved, you know, and started tarnishing a lot of people's names, basically, you know, respected people in boxing. And then he did an interview in a car. He was sat in his car outside his house or something that I watched with some guy, and I honestly couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, I think he's had so much smoke blown up his behind that he's got so many people around him that have convinced him that he was cheated or something, or that he's the best, he's the greatest, and that it was impossible that Fury could have beat him. That he actually believes it himself, that he was cheated and that it was impossible. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And he needs, in my opinion, someone has to sit him down and say, watch this fight. This is what happened. You weren't good enough. You got beat by the better man. You've got to accept it and regroup and move on. Because if you keep living in denial like this, it's only going to make you worse in your next fight, if you have another fight. It's only going to spiral out of control.
I get it. Do you know what I mean? I get it. The guy's...
The
guy's knocked out 40 people in a row in his head, and especially in the past couple of years when he's been talks of Joshua fight, then Fury, he's become this global star, really, from being a nobody. He'll always a world champion and nobody.
Yep.
He's been known as the baddest man on the planet. He could kill people with a punch. He's had 15 years, I don't know however long his boxing career is, 40 fights, you've got to be talking 10 years or whatever he's had. He hasn't tasted failure once. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get that he can't believe. I get that he's a sole loser. I don't agree with it, but it's easy to understand. Like, he's in denial. He's obviously got a huge ego, which is understandable. Like,
he's now
got millions and millions of pounds. He's like on top. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's hard, yes, but that's not excusable for the actions he's took after and the.
Nah.
I mean, do you know what? It would be sort of like if you just stuck to one excuse, then okay. Like, do you know what I mean? But you can't go suit, then trainer stuff,
gloves.
Then he was in on it. Then his gloves. Then this. Then that. It just makes him look like an idiot.
It's embarrassing, Red Puff.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, and the fact that nobody in his circle has pulled him on this is my worry. I'm worried for him because nobody in his circle. If you started going on like that after you'd lost a fight, I'd say, Red Puff, what are you going on about? Look, sit down, listen. I'm going to tell you what's happened here. I'm going to be the one that upsets you, and I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's got a load of bandwagon Klingons that are just.
There's also, yes, I totally agree. Like, But let's say even somebody did try and do that. Let's say he's got 50 people around him. If one person is telling him that the other 49 people are, who's he going to believe? Do you know what I mean?
I completely agree with you there. He's past that stage now that if somebody told him that, if someone sit down and told him that, he just he believes it himself that much now that wouldn't even matter. That had to be done after the fight, and it wasn't. How his trainer, how Jay Diaz hasn't told him is beyond me. If Jay,
let's like you don't know.
You don't know. No, but the way he's going on like that, if your trainer tells you think
that way.
If your trainer tells you that you lost the fight, you've got to go, I lost the fight. Then. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he's delusional.
I think he knows that he loves losing the fight and getting slapped. Obviously, like he can't deny that, right? He can't deny that he got dropped 3 times and that he was in a very bad way. But it's like, it's just, I don't know, you just, I can understand it sort of, but it was like weeks and weeks after, and he's still coming out with different excuses, like weeks, like, okay, months, the next day, you've got this huge ego, you're done, like, you don't believe it, or you're trying to get away from the fact, but there's got to be a point where you just have to, like, say it how it is and understand what's happened.
And then just to top it off, the couple of days after his contract runs out to get the rematch, he then appears out of thin air on social media and that, like, saying Fury's a coward and all this sort of stuff, like, and all that just topped it off for me, like.
Yeah.
And
well, the thing is, do you know what, I like Deontay Wilder.
I like Deontay Wilder. That's why I'm having this conversation, because it's worrying. I like
Deontay Wilder, but like, you can't, even if his biggest, like his biggest fan would not take this like in a negative way. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless they want to go on this imaginal journey as well that he didn't lose and it was cheap.
But this is the thing, Redpath, right? I have looked on his Instagram because I was literally thinking, like, where is he? What's happening? What is he not posting anything? I went on his Instagram, looked at his posts, and his fans actually believe he's got cheated as well. I don't know whether they're convincing him or...
That's some loyal fans anyway.
That's what I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
the bots.
The bots, aye.
The bots.
But no, like, in all honesty, I hope that he gets back in the ring and fights, do you know what I mean? But mentally, I would say, so far what I've seen, this fight's hurt him mentally a lot.
Oh, you can tell that. I would say that's, like, in my opinion, you can tell that's 100% true.
And there was one boxer, I can't remember who it was, an old school boxer, who lost a fight. And it was a heavyweight. I don't know if it was like Foreman or someone like that. But anyways, he lost a fight, and he did the same thing. Turned on his coach, started sacking people, blaming people, and then years down the line, looked back and realised that the closest people to him, the people that he got rid of, were the ones that were trying to help him, and realised that, that was true. He was just blaming people. He got beat, he got pummeled, and he just had to take it on the chin and move on. It's the way he's went about his loss that's not only disappointing, but I think it's going to affect his career. There's the top and bottom of it. It's going to affect his legacy in boxing. Yeah. He's going to be remembered for that whiny guy that Tyson Fury fought.
Yeah.
Rather than the biggest heavyweight puncher that there's been. He's tarnished his own reputation.
Yeah.
And to build...
I've never seen him out like it, to be honest.
To build back from that is going to be tough. There's talks of him fighting Stavern.
Really?
There's talks of him fighting Stavern. Redpath.
Aye.
Who apparently is number 1, is it, for the IBF rankings or something?
Didn't he just get beaten his last fight, I thought?
No, he beat somebody that I've never heard of, I think. But
goodness
there's
gracious.
Still fights out there for Wilder, that's the thing.
Oh, there's huge fights. Huge fights. A lot of money to be made for Wilder.
Joshua, White, Parker... Do you know what I mean? There's so
Ruiz.
There's so many big fights out there.
So many. I mean, him versus White is huge. Deontay Wilder versus White is one of the biggest fights boxing can make.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
So many fights out there. There's loads of up and coming people that he could fight. Do you know what I mean? And would all pay to see it? Would all watch it?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, look, he could go and win a fight, and then he'd be back in the heavyweights for the belts. Do you know what I mean? If he goes and wins his next fight, then he could, let's say, he could go and fight Joshua next, Fury next again, possibly. I don't know if he would now, but
yeah, I mean,
he's just tarnishing his own reputation massively.
I think Fury even said, you know, like he's literally, the way he's went on, he kind of doesn't want to give him the rematch because he's literally called him all the names under the sun, called him a cheat at a sport that Fury's dedicated his life to get to where he is. Like it's just disrespectful, isn't it? Like it's
massively, no doubt about that.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of credibility in my eyes, but he's still a good fighter. I wouldn't say he's a good boxer, but he's a good fighter.
No, yeah,
one of the hardest hitters. And hopefully, we might see him back in the ring soon.
Yeah, hopefully. The big dosser.
The big dosser. Oh, yeah. The big one. But, yeah, there's not really a lot I want to say after that. I just wanted to...
Yeah, that's it, Deontay. You got no more time for us.
That was it. I just wanted to get it out there because I don't know if it's just me that thinks he's absolutely delusional and he's lost the plot. Like, I think he's literally lost the plot. Who knows?
Be interesting to see what people think on this because it's a good talking point like this one. Because he's still there. He's still right up there. You know, he's only lost one fight against the best boxer. Like, he's still there.
But, like, you know, if your mentality's not right, in, like, you know, just in general, and you're going into fights, it's a horrible place to be. Do you know what I mean? And I just cannot understand how nobody's told him, man. Like, I just cannot grasp it. Nobody in his circle has pulled him to one side and said, yeah, man, have a look at this.
Exactly. Hopefully in a year's time he learns and he's in a better place for himself.
And hopefully everyone will kiss and make up and they'll all be good friends and that'll be that.
Yeah.
He gets his legacy back.
Yeah. Comes back and stops Joshua and Fury all hour.
Yeah, you know, hang on a second. I was just about to end the video there, right? And you've spoiled it. Now I'm going to bang on about something else now.
Go on then.
No, I was going to say, Joshua Wilder? What's your quick prediction on that? What do you think?
Could go one or two ways. Wilder's got one chance and that's hitting him on the chin with his right hand. Otherwise he's getting knocked out.
Yep. I mean, so I'll give you my 10 pence worth, right? Before Fury dismantled Wilder, I thought Wilder beat Joshua every day of the week and twice on a Sunday, right? But now after Fury's showed people that if you bully the bully, he's got out in the locker. I think Joshua beats Wilder every day of the week.
I probably hadn't favourite, but I think Wilder always like for.
Oh, he's got that puncher's chance. No doubt.
In a way, if you think, I think that Wilder's would like to fight Joshua because he's just got no head movement.
Yeah.
So if he's going to stand there, and you know what he's like, he's not really the best head movement, foot movement. There's a good chance if he landed flush like he did on Fury, I don't think Joshua would be.
Well, he's not riding the punches, is he, Joshua? He doesn't ride punches. He just takes them on the chin like Dave Allen. His defense is his nose and his face. That's it.
But I'm the same as you. Before Fury, I would have had Wilder favourite. Now I've got Joshua favourite. But it's one of them fights where I wouldn't be surprised if either of them knocked each other out, which would happen. There would be a knockout in that fight.
They one's got the points.
No.
None of them know what points is. They've never been at points.
Points.
That's points in their vocabulary. They didn't
need points. Need points.
Points? What's that?
Yeah, need points.
12th round. I've never been there before.
12th round, yeah. But it would be a good fight, one I'd like to watch.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd look forward to that. But we'll leave Wilder there. We'll let him go back to sulking in his corner or wherever he is.
Yep.
Fingers crossed.
Alabama.
Fingers crossed he comes back and we'll see him again.
Yep, fingers crossed he's alright.
Exactly. Fingers crossed he's alright. So Wilder, if you're watching,
we've got your back. Get back in the ring.
Get back in the ring. Stop whinging about your suit.
Aye.
Change your suit designer. Right. Nice speaking to you, Red Puff.
Nice speaking to you.
Ta-ra. I'm off.
Ta-ra, Tatey. I'm off ski.
Right.